Well, hi, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and we're live on a Friday evening, which means today we're going to be talking about Christmas treats. Now, mostly they're Christmas treats for me, but I do have some people coming over tomorrow. So I thought I would show you some simple Christmas treats that I like to do at this time of the year. And some of them will be more healthy than others, but they all revolve around chocolate. So, if any of you don't like chocolate, this would not be your broadcast, but most of us do. And, a lot of people say, you had me at the word chocolate. So there we go. Before I do that, a couple of things I wanted to also say is I'm going to show you how to make gummies. If you've ever, I don't know why I've never made my own gummies. And quite honestly, they don't have to be high sugar content. And, as somebody who's diabetic, I'm always looking for things that I can have that are sweet, but not necessarily bad for me. And I'm a great believer in finding out what I can eat, not what I can't. And as somebody who just went and had their blood sugar tested this week and came back just fine, thank you very much, you know that these little experiments I do are really important to me so that I can have treats and not feel guilty. So I like to have these, what I call, guilt-free uh, snacks and treats for myself as well. Hi there to Jody. For those of you who don't know, Jody is our admin, and she'll be keeping track of us tonight. And also, thank you, Jody. Jody was the one that was very keen for me to do this particular broadcast. So, Jody, hope you find some fun things for your Christmas list as well. So before I do that, I wanted to let you know I've been busy in what I call Confetti Corner, which is my craft room. And I wanted to just share with you my new card design that I did this week. So isn't that pretty? And this one, same sort of idea, different mirror. And this one is a glitter one for Jody. So I thought I'd show you those. Now, what I want you to understand is that didn't come without its problems, as is life, all right? And this is the whole thing I always say to people is that, if you don't have a hobby, then perhaps you don't participate in life. One of the things I love about doing a hobby is it teaches me so much about how to live my life. And one of the things was when I started to cut this design out, it was nothing but trouble. And I began to wonder why I was bothering with it. Does that make sense? And then I went, wait a minute, maybe I can do something differently. And this is what I found out. What I found out was that normally when I'm dealing with cardstock, this white stuff, I cut twice, not once, but twice, to make sure it cuts through well. I found out that when I'm doing a design like this, it pays to do it 3 times. It takes a little bit longer to cut, but then you don't have all the problem of trying to get all those little bits out because they're clean. They just fall out. And I think that's sometimes true of life, isn't it? That take a little bit of extra time and you will save yourself a lot of problem. Thank you, Sharon. I'm glad you like it as well. As I said, it was interesting. Now, the other thing I did was I came up with these. I'm always looking for ways to use up scrap paper in Confetti Corner. So we've got, I'm going to people's houses for Christmas and so forth. So I thought this is a really nice little present to bring along so people can put their knives and forks and things in it. What do you think? However, not without its problems. The design had this very, very fragile. And almost every time I went to get it off the cutting mat, it broke. And then I went, you know something? I've learned so much. I went into the design and I changed the design. I don't have one of the new ones with me here. Wait a minute, maybe I do. Hang on. Sorry, I had to hunt that down. So this is the original design. See that? Okay. And this is how I manipulated it. Can you see that this bottom one is now thicker? And it still has exactly the same feel to it. But the difference is this is much easier to take off the mat and therefore much more productive. So, and this is a little set of 12 I'm taking to, I'm actually going to give them to my hostess before Christmas because I want them to have them for Christmas, if they want them, or give them away. So I thought I'd show you that. All right, so let's start. And again, thanks to Jody for coming up with this one for me, because I was talking about my homemade gummies, and she's saying, I want to know how to do that. So easy, people. You're going to love that. So the first thing that I found out when I was looking at recipes was gummies are made from two basic things, all right? Jello, whatever you use. I use the no sugar added, as you can see, and gelatin. So you're going to forgive both official languages here. I'm in Canada. So this is gelatin. So we know that gelatin is really good for us, and you know it contains calcium and magnesium and folate and all sorts of stuff. So just be aware, not altogether a bad snack to have. So this is what I found out. Most recipes call for 1 packet of this and 2 packets of this with about 3/4 of a cup of water. Okay. Now I'm going to do it for you so you can see how easy it is. But here's what I want to tell you. You know I'm going to eat these as I explain them to you. So, you know, for those of you who are regular viewers are already laughing, going, there's no way she's going to resist those. These are the ones that I made, not many of them left, with the gelatin, but I made them 1-to-1. In other words, 1 packet of gelatin to 1 packet of Jello. And here is, right, the gummy. Come on. Perfect. No problem at all. So tasty. Who knew? However, because I ran out of gelatin, I wonder what happens if I just make them out of straight Jello. Now they're the same, except they're more squishy. But quite honestly, nothing wrong with them at all. And I'm thinking about dipping some of those in chocolate. How many of you are going, that would be tasty, all right? So just dip them in chocolate to have a treat. Now, I've got to remember which is which. Now, there's a way I'm going to do that, and I'll show you. That's so tasty and so easy to make. Okay, let's do that. So first of all, what we've got. Hi there, Sandy. Good to see you, and as well as is. All right. So now what I've got is 2/3 of a cup. That's all. 2/3 of a cup of water. Got it in the microwave. I put it on for about 2.5 minutes in my microwave. I want the water boiling. All right. So that I need to get it that hot because I need stuff to dissolve. And in the meantime, I'm going to take these. Now, once we've got this water boiling, all I'm going to do is literally just pour these packets in. and then stir like crazy. So, one. What flavor have I got here, people? Strawberry. Now, the reason I like this as a go-to little sweet snack is because Jell-O really isn't expensive. And when you think of what you pay for a packet of gummies, it's just like I can buy 2 or 3 packets of this and make 4 times as many. That's the way I'm getting the proper molds, people, because there's part of me that goes, I want those little bears, but I want the big bears, not the little ones, right? So they're on order. It's part of my treat for myself for my Christmas. Now, what molds to use? I actually have these silicone. Yeah, I've got to cover those with chocolate. Stop eating them, Sal. I love to use this one because it has, it's silicone. So it's sort of got a hard side to it, but it's got a squishy bit at the bottom. So it makes it fairly easy to get things out. Now, I'm not sure if they'll be done in time for the broadcast, but I will try my best to show you how easy it is. Yeah, you ready? Yep. Okay, so the water was boiling, which is what we want. And now this is going to look really funny when I pour it in, but don't worry about it. Explosion. And now we're just going to stir it because we want all those granules to dissolve. Now, the thing that I found is don't stir it too much because you don't want too much foam on top. I've made that mistake before and I've just done it again, but that's okay. It was my excitement. And I'll show you what to do with the foam if you end up with some. I think that's pretty well mixed. This is not rocket science, people. I'm just going to literally fill up the molds. How about that? Perfect. Now, how difficult was that? So Jodi's saying that she was just thinking about the silicone molds that look like raspberries. That would be so cute for gummy raspberry. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, this is the whole thing. Once you start making these, you'll wonder why you've never made them before. And, quite often during the day, I think, oh, I fancy something sweet. I just get one of those gummies and I'm good. Okay, so here we go. And all we're going to do is put them into the fridge. You got to admit, pretty easy, right? Or is that just me? Can you boil water? Can you mix? And can you put them in any container you like? Oh, the kid in me is so excited. And will they last until tomorrow is the question. Yeah, right. Now, just so that you know, on the yeah, Sharon's saying on a good day she can boil water. Yeah, that's what I thought. You don't have to be, Julia Childs here. Um, just to let you know, I've got some soup defrosting right there. No, I'm wrong. Right there, defrosting. I used my leftover vegetables this week to make a tomato basil soup. Now, I don't normally push products on these broadcasts, but when I find a goodie, I like to share it with you. Have any of you ever tried this stuff? I've got the English for you, right? Because there's the French on that side. All right, so there you go. If you haven't tried, if you are a person who likes to do soups and stews and stuff like that, really recommend this. It's thick, it's not sort of watery, it's thick. And it's wonderful to use as a soup base. I just literally chopped up a whole lot of leftover vegetables for the week and let them just cook in there. And I want to tell you, the taste of that soup is so good. And then what I do is I just keep this open in the fridge. And then whenever I'm making something, I just, if I'm making ground beef, I'll add a bit. If I'm making something else, it's just such a good addition. And, and, hold on one second. This one is more like a stock, but they make a red wine, right? But this you can hear is much thinner. But boy, is it good. So whenever I'm making a gravy or something, I just tuck a bit of that in. So 2 things to make your life a lot easier in the kitchen. Just thought I'd mention that. All right. So now then. That's already doing its thing. Don't want to put that in cold water yet. You don't want to crack that. All right. So we've done this. And we agree not too difficult. I'm trying to get not clever, huh? Now, what I thought we would do is we dip some of these in chocolate. What do you think? Now, I really recommend I keep 2 little containers going all the time to make chocolate in. Small containers, you will notice. And there's a reason for that. If I make a lot of chocolate, I will eat a lot of chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of white chocolate to cover some of these. But you got to think upside down here, all right? What I'm going to do is to put the gummies in. Actually, no, not the other way around for these gummies, I found out. Okay, don't get ahead of yourself, sir. White chocolate. Had it in my hand. What did I do with it? And again, so easy. Oh, now the thing is, I love to use this stuff, Caliber. And the reason I love this is so easy to make, and it's pure, beautiful chocolate, very creamy and everything else. However, chocolate comes in different forms. You can buy it in wafers in bulk, but it's not normally solid chocolate, right? It is what I call a mixture of chocolate and shortening and stuff, right? So again, you can buy it like this. All right. Yeah. Calabo is especially good chocolate. Yes, I agree. And of course, you can buy Baker's chocolate. Now, the thing I need you to know is that Baker's chocolate is inclined to have a higher melting rate. You need to get it hotter for it to melt. Why? Because it's made to go inside chocolate chip cookies. These, it's not too bad. But if you buy anything that is what I call anything like this, where it's the little chocolate chip. Don't know what fell. Maybe that did. Okay. Anything that's like this, it's specially made to go inside cookies, so it has a higher melting temperature, so that when you're put them in cookies, they don't melt inside, completely melt inside the cookie. Does that make sense? All right. So we'll play with it and show you the difference. So first of all, I'm going to do it with my favorite chocolate. And quite honestly, I do this very regularly. I just come here and I cut off a slab like this, and I just cut it up. Now, obviously, the smaller the bits, the quicker it will melt. All right, so this is why I only make this much. There's method to my madness. All right, I'm going to put this in first of all for a minute. I've sort of got this down to a fairly fine art now. And in the meantime, I'm going to chop up some milk chocolate. The same way. Now, you probably can't see this, but it is still in quite fairly large chunks. But it is beginning to melt. I don't know, can you see that? It's just beginning to melt. So I'm just going to stir it around a bit to get some of that heat moved around. And now I'm going to put it back for another 30 seconds. So exciting. All right, so we can put a bit more chocolate in here, I think. Now, what I want us to do is to imagine we're going to have a plate. And it's going to have various different chocolates on it, all right? And some regular gummies without anything on them. Okay. Now, I don't recommend picking up glass that's been in the microwave with your bare hands, but can you see that that is now completely melted? So good. So what I'm going to do is just put a little in each of these. Or as they say in the French, a soupçon. Here we go. I'm going to put about a teaspoon. Quality control. So good. So now we've got just that teaspoon of the white chocolate, and now I'm going to put these gummies on top. This will stop me eating them during the broadcast. Maybe. So there we have it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to make some more. Okay, so in for a minute. Now, why a minute and then 30 seconds? Because you want it to start melting, sort of move it around a bit so that you've got a more even melting thing, and then just give it the last 30 seconds that you need. So I really recommend, from experience, it works really well to do it that way. Okay, so we're going to be using the white chocolate again in a minute. And we're going to be using that again in a minute. Now, what I like about chocolate is there isn't any waste. In other words, these little bits, you can just put them in your next batch. Nice and easy. Getting warmer. So there we go. We're just going to mix it up. Pretty good, actually. This is going to make it interesting. I got some. This is score bits. Yeah. And that's perfectly melted now. So what I'm going to do is just put another teaspoon and 2 teaspoons over the gummies. Right, 1. That's good. I like to do that just to get any air bubbles out of it. Okay, that's good. And now I'm getting creative here. So I'm going to take some score bits. And put them in here. And then put some more white chocolate over the top. And then I'm going to sprinkle some more on the very top. Got some left over. I love cooking. And for those of you who don't know what score bits are, they're toffee, but crumbled up toffee. So now we've got the gummy bears here, and I've left the top showing so I know that those are the gummies. And then these are the little score ones, just small amounts, not kind of overly upset anybody's blood sugar level. Where was I? This white chocolate is so good. Good job I did my A1C this week. Oh, I left one without any bits. Fix that. Now, what I'm noticing, and I thought I'd mention this to you, you remember I had some regular Jell-O as opposed to the ones with the gelatin. The regular Jell-O are beginning to melt with the heat of the chocolate, whereas the ones that were with the gelatin as well, they're not. However, it doesn't matter. It's all going to taste wonderful. Believe me. Okay, just mix that up and another 30 seconds and we're good to go. Trying to think what we should have. Ooh. Hi, Ange. Good to see you. Trying to think what I'd like in this lot. Oh, I was going to make some peanut butter ones, right? So just mix it up nicely, make sure everything's all copacetic. And now I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon in at the bottom of straight chocolate. So good. Okay, now then, here we go. Oh, Anne's just saying that on Monday she's getting complete physical with a mammogram and blood work. For those of you who don't know, I went for a mammogram back in August. I had cancer and didn't know it. And I had a mastectomy by November. And I'm clear. Touch wood. All right, so now then, I've got the chocolate here, and into there, I sucked on that one, so I'm going to put a heaped teaspoon of peanut butter into what's left. Maybe not so heaped. And just mix that all in together. Now, seriously, how difficult is this? But you will notice that as you mix it in, it all incorporates beautifully, but it ends up a fudge. Awesome. So I'm going to put that on top of the other one. So we've got a pure chocolate at the bottom, and then a layer of peanut butter, chocolate, fudge. Now, I need to make sure that I identify the ones with peanut butter in them. So, you know, when you buy nuts, there are always those little bits at the bottom. I use those. Okay, so now I've got sort of a mixture of bits. Andrew's asking whether I heard about the about Twitch boss. Yes, I did hear about that. Very, very sad. He was the DJ for the Ellen show, and he committed suicide. Very, very sad indeed. Anyway, so with these little bits, I'm going to just put these on top. Okay. And that's just to make sure that people know that's got nuts in it. Now I'm going to put those in to get cool, so hopefully we'll be able to see them before the end of the broadcast. I'm not sure, but let's hope that. So I'm just going to put these into cool. And remember, I haven't made these too deep, so they should cool within about 20 minutes. So, Jody, if you can just keep track of that for me, that would be awesome. Now, I'm going to do a mixture now. What am I going to do? Oh, yes. Yes. I'm going to do some not so healthy ones. And I'm going to start off with a can of condensed milk. I only do this after I've tested my blood sugar. And I won't be testing it again for another week. For obvious reasons. Now I'll be drinking a lot of fluid tonight. Okay, so now we've got a can of condensed milk. I'm also going to put in some white chocolate. So that we know is going to melt pretty quickly. And then, because I love to play, you know that, I'm going to add I'm going to add some slow melting salted caramel. And these are just little chips like this, all right? Now we know we don't want these to totally melt. They're in there for the flavor. Oh. If they do totally melt, that's also okay. So mix that up. Okay. Now I've put that in at 130. Salted caramel chips, yes. You don't have any of those yet, Jody. Yeah. It's like the scorched bits, you know, very useful. Question. I think these are called halos. Am I correct? Has anybody got the easy way to peel these? The reason I ask is because I love them, but boy, they're difficult to peel. So what I've decided is if you take the ends off, and I put these in my water, and then cut it like this, and then you can sort of open it up and get to the segments. But I just wondered how you guys do it. But even then, they don't come off easily. They're better than any other way I've found. You know what I'm going to do with them, don't you? Okay, so this is after 1.5 minutes. And the good quality chocolate is melting beautifully. And the salted caramel has still got shape. Just going to put it in for another minute. Then we're going to turn it into fudge by adding marshmallow. A handful in. It's going to be so tasty. All right, people, what did I do with it? You saw me take it off. Oh, well, I will find it. Now, I want to just warn you. I could have chopped the marshmallows up a bit first, but I didn't. Never mind. They will melt. And I will help them. Now, whenever you're dealing with chocolate, the trick is not to overcook it, because then it can burn. So that's why you'll see I'd rather put it in 3 or 4 times for 30 seconds than put it in for another full minute. Just makes so much more sense to me. Definitely should have chopped these up first, but that's how you learn. It's been a while since I've used marshmallows. Come on, melt. Nearly there. So what I'm going to do is, because I've had to heat it up so many times, I'm going to add more of those salted caramel things in towards the end now. Right, what did I do with the salted caramels? No, it looks so good. I think they're just about there. So I'm going to add a few more of those salted caramels in. No, it's the tip. No, it's great. Nothing healthy about these. And I think it's a couple of small bits of marshmallow just fine in there. Good. There we go. Now then, I'm going to make some of these so I can eat them tonight. And some of them I'm going to keep for tomorrow. So here's what I thought. Make it slightly healthier by adding some cranberries to some of them. And festive. So this is now cranberry marshmallow fudge. Yum. And then on the other ones, I'm going to add some blueberries. Oh, oh. Now, I know that I'm going to eat some of these tonight, so what I'm going to do is put some of these on top. Okay, so one of each. Now, when they have hardened, they obviously will become log shape. Can you see that? And then I can choose to cut them into little slices or just add them with a dessert, or that could be a dessert all on its own. What do you think? Easy enough? Now, you might have noticed that I use shoebox lids. And the reason I love to use those when I'm making chocolates and things is because I can stack them up easily, because those molds are inclined to be very wobbly. But if I have one of these, I can put it in flat and it'll stay flat. All right, so Kimmy's saying it's below 0 there. Yeah, I think it is here as well. I could be wrong. And I've been sick, and I'm debating whether I should go shovel snow tomorrow. If you've been sick, you may want to just hold off a little bit. It's very hard on the heart, shoveling snow. Is there somebody who can help you at all? Okay, I wanted to show you now. The gummies have just about set. And I thought I'd show you how I get them out. I take another toothpick type thing, and I just literally wind it around the outside, like this. I'm just going to do a couple because I'll let the rest go back in. So there we go. All right. So there's the ones that we made, and they're awesome. And how easy was this? Seriously, people. I'm going to put these back in, let them harden up a bit more. So good. So now, the thing about this is that this just lends itself to however creative you want to be. You could put the chocolate flat like this and then take a little thing and make little rounds of it. Actually, I should try that. Probably got enough here to do that. Can I do that? Actually, this is going to be more the fudge type stuff, but let's see if it works. This is already firming up, so. That is so good. So what do we have here? Condensed milk, chocolate, white chocolate, marshmallows, and salted caramel chips. Wow. So good. Now I'm wondering, I'm just going to leave it like that and see if it works. So there we go. We know how to make gummies now. Very easy. We know how to make easy chocolates. And by the way, I have another ice cube tray that makes really good chocolates. So I will probably be making another group of chocolates in here. As I said, it's really a case of how creative do you want to be. I have tried chocolate and then I mixed in some Schmucker's no sugar added caramel. Just to tell you, that makes the chocolate set almost immediately, so you have to work very quickly with that, but it tastes really good. You know, what if you added in some Old English toffee drops, you know, into the mix? You know, think about that. What if you made a shell of chocolate and then put in some no sugar added jam? Bet you that would work. So I'm always looking at what can I make, or what if, in fact, even what, I'm going to try that tonight. What if I mix chocolate and no sugar added jam together? That's an experiment I'm going to do. But what I want you to see is that what are the gummies made out of? Watch the video and you will see. That's why we did this broadcast. So it's right at the beginning. So you'll be able to see. Yeah, exactly, Jody. That's what I'm thinking. You know, what if you just, you know, coat the outside with a chocolate to make a shell, then dropped a little bit of the no sugar added jam inside, and then another layer of chocolate on top. Yeah, Kimmy, watch the beginning of the video later, and you will see how I did it. So what I want you to see is, you know, chocolate's not altogether bad for you, especially if you buy good quality chocolate. And it's a case of how much you're going to have. And to me, it's like if you are got chocolate and peanut butter mixed and make a fudge, that's healthier than just straight chocolate. Does that make sense? If you've got gummies covered in chocolate, gummies are good for you, right? They've got all that good gelatin in them. So I'm always looking at how can I do this? What if I took the little hero? You know, what if I took these and just dipped them in chocolate? That was my original intention. You know, and make a really pleasant sweet, or maybe half dip them in chocolate. You know, just look really good presentation-wise on a plate. Just a couple of them. So what I try to do is every night when I have my late night snack, which normally is cheese and crackers and some fruit, I now add a couple of chocolates to it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Which was your favorite? And if you're anything like I am, they all were. However, I am pretty sure. Oh yeah, that's firming up very nicely. I'm pretty sure that this one. Yep, that's definitely crisping up nicely, people. That's going to be very, very nice. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. You can tell I'm going to continue to enjoy it. Jody, thank you so much for suggesting I show you how I do this. I'm definitely not going to have a healthy meal tonight, but I'm so going to enjoy it. Yes, so Isabel's saying, I prefer the plain ones, the gummies. Yes. And remember that if you're stuck, you don't have any gelatin, you can just make them with Jell-O alone, but they don't hold together as well. It's comfort food night. But I am starting with a healthy soup. So thank you all for being here, and look forward to doing more experiments like this. I hope some of you are going, I wish I could be there tomorrow night to enjoy those. How many? The question is, people, the question that you all know is going to be the important question. How many of those chocolates make it through till tomorrow night when I have people? I have Yvonne and Wade coming. And you will be able to say, well, I saw her make them all. But the trick is to let them harden up, go and distract myself, and then, bag them up. How many did I make altogether? Hang on a second. That's a good question. I made a dozen gummies, right? I've eaten 3. I made 9 logs, which will be cut into probably 3 each. All right. And remember these? So we made another 3, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, another 16 chocolates over and above that. In, just really about an hour. But such fun to do. How many of you know I genuinely enjoyed doing that? They're getting back in the fridge before I find reason to eat more. But the important thing is, how pretty are they going to look? They look fun to make, yes. And that's, me, if it's not fun, why would I make it? So, and remember, if you're going to do anything with nuts on it, make sure you identify it so people know, because a lot of people can't eat nuts. And okay, this is not going to work in a hurry, so we'll leave that. Let it dry. All right, so we'll see you. Jody's saying, and your laugh makes it so much better. How many of you go, how much sugar has Sal consumed just licking her fingers and the spoons? Not a whole lot, but certainly more than my fair share. But I took my A. You see, this is my thing I always do. After I've had my A1C, that next week, I allow myself to have more treats. I actually went to go and get McDonald's this week. I'm not joking. I was at a store and I popped into McDonald's because I thought I just had my A1C done. I'm going to have fries, like bad fries. And luckily for me, the lineup was so long. I went, no, I don't want to wait that long, and turned around and came home and made my own in my air fryer. But it was just like I nearly had all that sodium as well. So never mind. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Sunday. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, hope you found it fun. Hope you are drooling, and I hope you will pray that I have the self-discipline not to eat them all before tomorrow evening. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, bye-bye for now. Thanks for your help, Jody.